Welcome back to another episode of RNT Fitness Radio. Today I'm speaking with one of our RNT clients, Maneet, all about the awesome transformation that he's been through this year. At the start of this year, Maneet came to us with a goal of getting a six-pack. He said he wanted to take a slow approach and make it seamless with his extremely busy lifestyle as a dentist moving to a new city. Over the course of the last 10 months, he's managed to drop a total of 50 pounds and get into the shape of his life and complete a photo shoot in California with one of the top fitness photographers in the world. He did so well that during his shoot on Muscle Beach, he even had tourists approaching him asking to take pictures, which is pretty damn awesome. To read his case study and see the pictures, make sure you check out the article linked in the show notes today. This episode is going to go through how Maneet achieved this transformation and is all about lifestyle design, motivation, accountability, personal development, and ultimately how to create a real sustainable change in your life. It's packed full of value and I know you're going to love it. So enjoy. Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, good, man. Just did it.
Yeah, you smashed it.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. What a day, man. I don't even know what to tell you. It was so fun, dude. I did everything, like just straight up every single kind of photo, almost like crazy. Yeah, Halloween was fun, man. Like I've never like gone out like that and like girls look at you. It's like so different, man. I was like, wow, this is just like a different world, like a different reality. Amazing, man.
Talk me through the day. What was it all like?
I woke up and I was like, okay, let me get over there. I didn't really get to pump. That was a problem. Like I got in there and like I had to quickly go. I only had like 15 minutes. And so I didn't get to pump my legs. I ended up looking a little weak, but it's fine. I was able to quickly like do arms and like, just a little chest and back, and just quickly went in there and just did it, But it was interesting, like learning how to pose. I went straight to the gym. Hirsch met me there. He started taking some photos and he left after the gym part. I did the rest at the studio and everything like that. Yeah, very cool, man. It was amazing.
Also, I saw the pictures this morning. And there's so many, I got overwhelmed by it all.
I know. I was like, there's just so many pictures. So I was like, if anything stands out, let me know, like.
Yeah, I mean, what you could probably do is what I did with mine is I'd categorize them. So say like Muscle Beach, beach, gym. I don't know how many you get to choose, and then just kind of pick the best one of each one because there's loads there that we could use.
Exactly.
I really like the beach ones. I thought they were really cool. It's like a Baywatch kind of look going on, right?
Yeah, dude. I know. I was like, this is going to be great. Otherwise, it was pretty good that day. You just went there and shot. I did professional shots in the studio. It was interesting learning how to pose.
It's a lot harder than you think, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I thought, like flex. And like suck in the gut, but that's not what happened. Like I actually had to keep exhaling, push all the air out. And that's what made my abs show. And actually like, I had to try to like push my belly out. So like, and I was like, this is weird. Cause like back when I had fat, like you would show more belly, but now I'm just showing more abs.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It's funny because you never really do that when you're training or even when you're doing like progress pictures. You never tense like everything the way it should be.
Yeah.
For a photo. So I always people find that the most difficult is trying to present their physique in a way that looks really good, but also keeping a relaxed face at the same time and having your abs show that they want the way they want you, the way they should be. Because if you suck in, you almost lose the abs and it ends up just being all obliques. Yeah, so it takes it away from the physique.
Yeah, it does. And it's interesting, trying to hold a pose, trying to keep the muscles contracted sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of a workout and you have to just hold there. Like, when I'm like lifting some weight and you got to hold it and make it look effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, it was interesting, I had such a great photographer. Noel DeGanto was just phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I was impressed by that. Yeah,
exactly what he was doing, like everything, man. He was chill. He was a good guy.
He does a lot of the fitness guys, right? Fitness models and.
Yeah, so he shoots for like men's fitness. Fitness and Exercise magazine, which he's going to get me to that one. He's done like Men's Health and stuff like that. So his connections are huge in terms of like fitness magazines. And yeah, man, it was to shoot with a pro like that, like someone like, yeah, he's kind of regarded as, I don't know if you heard his name before, but he's considered one of the top in the world from like what I like looked up online, like his like, you know, reviews and everything. It's amazing.
Awesome. And he's based in LA.
Yeah. Downtown LA.
Nice. So before people start thinking I'm talking to a fitness model here, it'd probably be good to tell everyone who Maneet is. And tell them what you do and where do you live.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I'm a dentist, you know, and a little bit of a different business model than most dentists. I do sedation dentistry for other dentists, actually. So I do like basically I have many different clients, and I go do like anesthesia for them and different little surgeries. And at the same time, I do my own little thing on the side too, where I kind of do some general work. At the same time, I actually studied nutrition before I ever became a dentist. And that really helped me in this whole part. But yeah, you know, now I grew up in Michigan and moved to Chicago, moved to Arizona. Kind of was trying to live somewhere where I can be outdoors all the time. I didn't really realize why that was so important for me, but the ability to be outside all the time is so helpful, especially for just keeping your energy up, keeping your activity up. And somehow I ended up in California, man. I'm in LA now, and it's been amazing. I've been having a good time here. You've been here a couple of times. It's been amazing having you, man. I hope you can come back again.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, but yeah,
you've been there for a year now, right? Just over a year.
Yeah, almost like a year and a half, I would say, because I had I was kind of like half-time living here a little bit for a while as I kind of transitioned in. So,
and do you think this will be it?
I hope so, man. I'm pretty happy here. You know, I got it set up pretty good. I really invested a lot into the people I work with here, like the clients who are my dental clients, and the location where I live. It's just so peaceful and beautiful. If you look out my window here, you can see like downtown LA, Santa Monica, Malibu, right out the window. I wish I could show you. It's a little foggy today though.
Nice.
But it's just like, it's so peaceful, and I can walk to work. That's one of the biggest game changers I set up. I remember when you were here, we were in Hollywood and we were talking.
Yeah.
And I told I was like, I'm going to move, and that's going to change everything. And it really, really, really did. That was one of the biggest pushes. So we can definitely talk about a little lifestyle design too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll dig into that. Let's talk about your physique transformation. Let's talk about, you know, how you got into training, your journey over the years, why you decided to transform, and talk about the early days and before you came to us at RNT.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So like for me, I always admired those, you know, really strong guys, you know, whether it was like watching like TV or whatever, but it kind of started. My mom was doing like aerobics videos for exercise, and I kind of was like, wow, man, these guys are so strong on the beach. And it's so interesting because now looking back at it, it's like aerobics isn't what got them there, but you know, I thought like, okay, these guys are doing jumping jacks on the beach and that's how you get ripped. So, you know, I would do like cardio at home and stuff like that, little things. But it's just funny. That was like the first thing that kind of motivated me to try to, you know, get strong and get fit. Cause I was like, I just somehow admired the physiques. And, you know, I was a kid, so I didn't really have much knowledge. I just kind of did whatever I thought was there. Like there were some weights in the basement I would play with and stuff like that, but I never really knew what I was doing. And then it started getting more serious because I went in high school. I played football and I ran track, and like, so we actually had coaches training you on how to lift and everything like that. But at that time I had like actually been experimenting with a vegetarian diet. So I never really got that much protein at all at that time. And I did lose weight, but then I went to college, and, you know, like you meet so many people, you're out, you're socializing, you're partying, cafeteria food. And that destroyed me. I literally gained like 30 pounds, and it was insane. Like and it's all about education. If you just know what you're doing, it can change everything, you know? So that's actually when I started reading like Men's Health and Men's Fitness magazines. And I would just go on the elliptical and read it every single day. Right before I trained weights, I would just go read for like an hour or two of Men's Health. It was kind of crazy how I was just reading magazines. My brother-in-law, Jesse, introduced me to the magazine a long time ago. And from there, I don't know, I just really got quite an education, and decided I was going to go into nutrition. So I got a nutritional sciences degree just because I knew I was going to be a dentist. So whatever I studied didn't matter. I just did it for myself. So I studied nutrition. And that was kind of my journey. From there, I just repetitively got injured, like trying to lift really, really heavy.
PSIS problems, right?
Right. Yeah. Cause I was, all of that's like way gone now though. I haven't felt that in forever, ever since like losing, I have like no belly now. So like losing that has fixed so much, like just my neck, my back, like I feel like way more pain-free. It's amazing, man. It's so good. Never felt this good. But yeah, I think that's what it was. I just kept getting injured and taking time off and gaining weight. The consistency would just go on and off, and then you try to diet along with that, and it just became a vicious cycle of like not actually knowing how to pair the right things together for that magical formula. And there's really only one way to do it. Like people think there's multiple different ways to do it, but just one way to do it. You got to build muscle. You got to be in a deficit. You just have to. If you don't do those two things together, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to skin the cat, but ultimately it comes down to staying in a calorie deficit if you want to lose body fat, right? And it's about finding the right diet, the right lifestyle, the right weight training program that allows you to elicit that calorie deficit.
Exactly. And it's kind of like, it has to do a little bit with what works for your lifestyle, but also has like, you have to take the hormonal approach, like what kind of, what's going to work for the body. I think it all kind of comes into play. So for me, I used fasting. I used, I wish I could have been a better client to you, man. I know along the way, man, I didn't check in as often and I would get off track a bit, but consistency was everything.
I think with you, it was never never the traditional approach of coaching. It was never like, okay, Maneet's going to check in on Monday at 7 a.m. It was never that.
Never happened.
For you, it was more, I think what we're going to talk about today is it was more about lifestyle design. And,
100%.
And ultimately just time and lifestyle, because you said, I think you never really wanted that short, sharp fat loss phase, right? You always wanted to make sure that you could build this around your lifestyle because you didn't want to give up, the socializing, the networking, the studying, the traveling back and forth from Detroit and Michigan and wherever you're going. So you wanted to make it a seamless part of your lifestyle so that now, you've dropped your 50 pounds down. You're not going to just bounce back up to 50 pounds up, right?
Exactly. My whole thing was, if you're going to do this, why just do it to gain it back? You only have so much time in life. And if you're going to invest this kind of time, you got to keep it. You don't just lose it again, and like, that's what I was doing. I was putting time in at the gym and I didn't have much to show for it, except that I had a great ability to have some rebound gains. That was it.
Yeah. We will win there, right?
Huh? Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. So when you first got into training, you mentioned the injuries, but what other struggles were you having with trying to balance all the different components in your life and still getting the physique that you wanted to, but what wasn't able to achieve? What were the struggles there?
All right. Struggles. That was, if it wasn't outside of injury, I mean, in my regular life before RNT, I think once we started together, it was a lot of traveling, a lot of being new in a new city, networking, commutes, those kind of things. While I was with you, I mean, I went to Spain for like 2 weeks. I spent a week in New York. I was traveling almost an hour a day while I was building my clientele out here in LA. It was LA traffic, and you're on the 405 just going up and down. And I was like meeting with so many different dentists. I was working with like 6 practices at one time. working Saturdays, driving an hour every day, just to like build those relationships with every single practice I could. And all that time sitting, it was just terrible. Like you're sitting in the car, it's a high stress time. So like your stress goes up and you're not moving. You just have the static posture. It hurts your lifts. Your activity goes down. Your stress goes up. It's like, cut your commute out. I never thought how that would be that affecting, to somebody, but it really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
To the point I almost hired a driver to drive me around. I can just sit in the back and I can like get work done on my phone or on my computer, and have the driver just kind of reduce that stress for me. And I can be efficient during that time. So when I'm off, I could actually go walk around. It almost got that far. If I hadn't moved, I would have had to do that.
Yeah.
I was going to do whatever it took, at that point. I was, there was a lot of obstacles. I think mostly all related to just being in a new place, creating a new life.
And how did you overcome that?
Factors that go with that. All right. So the way I combated it was nothing was going to faze me. Nothing was going to stop me from getting my result. Look, like I said, I really went all in with the whole RNT thing, even though I didn't check in with you so great. I was always going to work out. I wasn't going to lose muscle. I wasn't going to waste my time. And I thought that was the most important thing. So I was like, okay, let's just keep pushing forward. Let's just keep pushing forward. I really didn't want to lose how much I could lift. I just kept trying to lift heavy and go hard and focus on form. And
that was a big mental roadblock for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, couldn't do it. Like I just didn't want to lose muscle. Inevitably, I did lose some, but.
Well, I don't think it was the muscle thing you were scared about. It was more the strength. And I think you had that attachment to the absolute strength that you had when you were 50 pounds heavier, right?
Yeah, man.
So I had to explain to you that, the relative strength gains.
Yeah, relative strength. I mean, that was a big thing for me to accept. And I didn't really embrace that until about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So the way it went for me was I was like the whole time, and we started this last December and now it's the end of October. So before I joined you, I had lost about 10 pounds already. So then I started with you and we dropped a lot. I got down, it was like summer and I was just casually doing just with like lifestyle changes and decisions and kind of intuitive eating style approach. Having education changed everything. I got down to like 155 from where we started was I think 176 or 177. And we got down to, I was like in the 150s. And that's where I thought I would have like a six pack. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a six pack by 150. And I was so off. But
that's always a rude awakening for people, right?
Yeah, I was so off. But anyway, so I got down to that and I was like, okay, like I'm pretty happy with this. And that's when Hirsch did his photo shoot. And he was like, man, dude, you got to do it. It was so fun. You're going to love it. And I was like, okay, like, you know what? Like, I don't know, man. Like I saw what Akash had you do and your grind. And I don't know if I'm in for all of that. Like, I'm just kind of doing my lifestyle thing right now. And it's like, and he's just like, dude, are you kidding? You have to, man. It's like, you just have to do it. And I thought about it, like, that push was huge, but, I went a little beyond that. Like, you always said, like, remember your why. And I'm big about keeping promises to myself, and I journal and stuff like that. And if I write something, like one of my friends once said, like, you can't keep a promise to yourself. What can you do? And so, I told myself I was going to do this, so I'm going to finish it. And, you, in the beginning, asked me, like, you had a survey. You were like, so what do you want out of this? And I said, I want a six pack, and I didn't have one. So I was like, all right, I guess if I'm going to do this, I can either keep, all of June and July, I didn't lose any weight at all. I was at maintenance for 2 months.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just holding. And I was doing that all. I was just like, kind of like enjoying eating whatever I wanted, doing whatever. I wasn't a good example for people, but as I said, I think it helped me really refeed and psychologically keep the wheels turning. But yeah, so after I did that, then I was like, okay, if I'm going to, keep my promise to myself and do what I set out to do, then I have to do a photo shoot. So I started taking things a little bit more seriously at the end of summer and buckled down a bit more. And that's when you were here at that time. We made that decision. What was that? When did you come?
So we came down first week of August, and that's when you told me when we were having dinner. You said to me, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for Halloween." And
That's right.
At this point, I didn't know. I think you just surprised me at dinner time because I think Hirsch was like, "He's going to do it," and you're like, "I want to do it on Halloween because I've got this costume I want to wear." Or not? Well, it wasn't really a costume because you didn't have anything on, right? But
I did. You saw it, right? You see
it? Yeah. He was just topless, and then he had the bear in between. What was that, by the way?
It was a honey farmer who got kidnapped by a bear.
Oh my god!
The honeycomb, I had bees like stuck all over me. I had honey all over me.
Oh wow!
I had like this bear that kidnapped me. It's so funny.
Awesome.
And I had that string light. That string light was bees. These are all bees.
And you knew you were gonna wear that outfit.
No, I kind of had to. I was like, I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking of like what it would be, but you know, like, I guess I'll go back to what I was talking about after we talked about this Halloween thing. But like, so Hirsch and I always differentiated. Like, we're like, dude, yeah, you could be photo shoot lean, but like, forget what the camera can do for you. We need to be poolside lean. So we always talked about stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, he loves saying that, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, like, let's do that. Let's get like poolside lead, you know? So I was like, there's no way to be sure I'm going to look good on camera unless I'm going to be ready to look good in person. So like, that's when I was like, all right, looks like we're doing shirtless Halloween costume. There's no getting around it. We're going to a rooftop pool party.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Where was it?
W Hotel Hollywood.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah. And so just by doing that, it's like, all right, now you need to be ready for the pool. So the photo shoot's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I created that double accountability there because that day was gonna be all out, and it was so fun. It was taxing, but it was like so fun. But yeah, so what were we just talking about?
You were talking about you just maintained for 2 months, and then I came over and you just said to me you're going to do the shoot.
And that's when I started going, and then like I had moved, and so like the steps had started going on. I got into mountain biking. My friend Viral was always like raving about mountain biking, and like I just tried it out. I was like, you know, I'm gonna get steps. I'm gonna bike to work. I'm gonna cut out the car. I'm gonna start mountain biking as a hobby. You gotta change your hobbies a little bit. I mean, you can't always want to do the same things like go hit the bar. You know, you gotta change your hobbies. So like one of mine just became going mountain biking. Like, what a thrill! What a rush! It's so fun. Anyway, so after I started doing all that, like some stuff started coming off, and like I really hadn't gotten deep, but like it was 5 weeks out from now, and I was just like, oh gosh, this is where I'm at, man. Is it going to happen or not? Give me an honest opinion. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. You were like, you can do it, but you need to go all out.
Yeah. There wasn't any more. You couldn't do it as a kind of integrated lifestyle anymore. It had to be an all in for 5 weeks sort of thing.
Yeah, it was all in for 5 weeks. So like, yeah, I got down pretty far. Like, I got down below 150, abs starting to show a little bit, flat stomach for sure, like pretty good shape. Like I was happy with my physique overall. Like I was like, this whole plan with Akash and RNT is a hit. Like it worked, success. It's over. Like I'm good if nothing more comes of this. But if I'm going to go for my goal, we're going all in. So that's when everything kind of changed because, you know, the whole lifestyle thing, I didn't get to enjoy that for the last month, unfortunately. But I
think that's part of it. I mean, you can get to a certain point like you did while maintaining everything. And then I do think there is a period for 3-4 weeks where you have to knuckle down a bit and you have to make a little bit of a social sacrifice just to be a bit more selfish to achieve your goal. I mean, when I last competed in 2017, one of my goals was, along with getting to the best possible condition, was to maintain my social life for as long as possible. And I managed to do it until about 3-4 weeks out where I was just like dead man walking when I had to just, you know, put myself first. So up till that point, I think it's certainly doable, but there is that crossing line where you have to think, okay, I need to knuckle down now. And I think that was where your body just went into overdrive and you just started dropping like crazy, right?
Last month.
Sorry?
I dropped 10 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I already got 5 of it back. No, it's good though. It's like a healthy, you know, It's good.
Yeah, I mean, the initial, you on the day after a shoot, you always put on like 4 or 5 pounds. But what you'll find is as soon as you get back on it, you'll trickle down again because you probably got a little bit of water. And for the listeners, Maneet actually did his shoot 2 days ago. So we're talking fresh off his shoot.
Right. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. Wow. Yeah, it was great. I'm glad we got to talk real quick, right? Well, it was everything's kind of fresh, So
yeah. I mean, on the day of the shoot, I was actually I was out and about, and I was like, I was with some friends, and I was like, no, today's an important day because this guy is I need to peak this guy perfectly. So I'm going to be on my phone, even if it's. I
gotta give you a shout out for this one, man. I mean, I was like, I wasn't nervous or anything like that. I was like, whatever happens. And I was super like carefree about it. I was like, look, like you mess up once, fine, just do it again, but I had that attitude. So I was like, no stress, nothing, just go in and do it. But I was like, I remember a couple of days out, like you were like, dude, looks like he spilled a little. And I was like, oh man, like what's going on? Like I couldn't see my abs, like everything was gone. And I was like, dude, I don't know what's happening, but it was amazing. Like, this is where it comes to have an expert bodybuilder like you, like the, champion on your side who knows the game in and out, done this with so many people. You just titrated my body so perfectly, adjusted everything, told me exactly what to do. I listened. And man, like when I peaked, I looked insane. Like in real life, like I never saw myself like that before. I was like, wow, and like, it's all about looking good for that one moment. And it's like, it doesn't matter how you look the day before or 2 days before. It's about what you're going to look like that day. And like, yeah, like I looked better a week or two ago than I did 2 days before, but that day I looked better than I ever looked. So
yeah, that's what it was. I looked at the picture and I was like, damn, he's spilled. But that's why we tied it up. I think it was just the food choices you had. You just had a lot of salt in your day that day. So you just retained a ton of water. And your body weight went up 5 pounds overnight. So I knew, because it went up so much with only 200 grams of carbs, it could only have been one thing. And that usually happens if you have a lot of salt in your diet.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And you just chose a lot of salt in all your foods you had, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I said, yeah, that last week is what you live for. I realized that you love peak week.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get exciting because what I find is, I don't think there's nothing magical about what you do in PP, but I do see like subtle changes that if someone's really, been grinding hard for so long, they enter that last 7 days and they look a little bit flat. They look overworked. They look tired. And then when you just kind of back off the intensity of their cardio, their steps, and you give them a bit more food, something just happens and everything just starts popping. And it's really cool to see because I see the client get excited as well at the same time because they're seeing their body look as good as it's ever done, right?
Oh my God, I've never seen like veins popping out of my legs, like my thighs and like abs, like a vein over here. I was like, oh my God, that's insane. Like I think a couple of the photos captured it, but it was hard to get there. That was insane. To see your body at that level. I mean, I want to do it again. I want to see more of it now,
yeah.
Let's get down.
Let's talk about accountability because you're huge on it. And you mentioned it briefly, but
accountability is everything, let's definitely go into accountability here.
So what steps did you take? I mean, besides the, obviously having a coach and having that deadline, what were you doing on a daily basis to have that accountability?
Okay. So accountability, like for the first 9 months was not super high. But I did do a lot, like journaling. I think tracking keeping your photos is such a huge thing. Like just when you start to lose that motivation and you look back at 2 months ago, like, oh, this is working, like I told all my friends about it, whether they were in support or not. I just told people, this is what I'm doing. And once you get that out of the way, like you told people you're doing it, you got to commit to it, The photo shoot was huge. My Halloween costume was huge. Tracking everything is great. Journaling is phenomenal because you can write down what you want. I wrote in my journal so many times, like, this is what I'm going to do. By this day, I'm going to be at this level. by this day, I'm going to be at this level. Tracking everything in your lifts, like writing down your weights constantly, setting goals for your next weights. Goal setting is huge for accountability, because if your mind works like that, you like to knock out your goals, and it's important to have short-term and long-term goals. But yeah, having a coach, so huge having a coach. Another thing that really helped was, Hirsch, your other client, just having a friend who's going through it too. Someone who's also working out with me and talking about training, kind of double immerse ourselves in the process by just doing that.
I think that's huge. I think that's why couples do so well when they transform together, because they have that accountability within each other. And Hirsch is one of your best friends, right? So having that someone who's so close to you also go through that journey just spurs you on while you're going through that tough period, right?
Yep. So
you mentioned journaling. What exactly are you doing with the journaling?
I journal everything I do in my entire life. I talk about my progress professionally, my personal life, my family, my friendships. I've always done that for the last, since college. Actually, my brother-in-law, Jesse, actually got me into that a long time ago. And then I just kept doing it. And I write about everything. And it's like a vision board in a sense, or it's kind of like when you set your goals and you write them down and you make them concrete, you accomplish them. And you'll be shocked, like things that I just wrote just to write them manifest. They take care of themselves. And there's like a quote, like, once you've made your mind up, the world conspires to make it happen. And there's something like that. I don't know where it was from, but
is that something you do every night? Is it a gratitude log, or is it more just a kind of reflection log?
It's a reflection log. I do it. I used to do it every day, but now it's become every few months. And I just do like bigger writings. I've always been a writer, so just like to myself, so I've enjoyed that. And it's great for reflection. It's good to just kind of like get things out, like things you never share with anybody else, things that your most private thoughts, your most like deepest goals, and things that happen in your life that like, it's like, there's only one place you can share that sometimes, and like your parents don't want to hear it, or your friends may not want to hear it, but you can write it and talk and say it to your future self. And amazing. It's amazing. I can like read back to what I was thinking in college on a specific day and what I was doing that day with my friends, and how I felt about it, and who I wanted to be, and I talked about like getting ripped in college. Like, man, like you have the summer off, like study hard for your, exams, and then just work out, get ripped. This is the summer. This is the one. I was like, yeah, I was like 20 years old or 19 years old, and I wrote stuff like that. And now at 32, it's fun to read that and be like, wow, like things happen. It just takes time. You got to write it down, make it concrete, make it real.
Yeah, manifested it 12 years later.
Yeah, and that's for everything. Like I wrote down like, like I wanted to be a dentist. I wrote down where I wanted to go to school. I wrote down what kind of area I wanted to live in. I remember like I came here for an interview for dental school, and I wrote down, I was like, I realized I'm a West Coast kind of guy. I wrote that down in my journal.
No way.
Yeah, I wrote that in my journal when I was 20 years old, interviewing for dental school. I'm a West Coast kind of guy. Fast forward 10 years later, here I am, And it's like, it's just weird, even though like literally like I fought it. I fought coming here quite a bit, actually. Like I thought it'd be a bad place to be, and I was wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative conceptions about the West Coast, right? Especially LA. Like, we were telling you, right? We asked people, what do you think of LA? And they say, it's terrible. I hate it. But it was only when I came here, and then you guys, I think, probably just showed us a different area. I think if we went on our own, we might not have had the experience, but because we came with you guys, it was just a much better experience.
Yeah, I had fun taking guys out. We love having people over and just like taking people out and showing the city off and trying to recruit people to come here. We just love it, man. So it's such an amazing place, and has everything to offer. Even so simple as getting a photographer like Noel. Wouldn't have been able to do that if I lived in the middle of nowhere, unless I flew out, which a lot of his models. But yeah, man, just like It's so great. I don't know.
Let's talk about, you mentioned that, you always have people over, you're always socializing, networking, dating, whatever. You've got a very outgoing lifestyle. I think that's one of the things you said from the get-go is, I remember reading your form recently just because I wanted to look at your starting pictures. I think I sent it to you that day. And I think the first thing you said was, I'm always on the go, right? So I need something that fits around my lifestyle. So what's been the catalyst here? What's really helped you? Because this is something that people always say to us is, how do I do this while keeping my life? I don't want to give up my life. What do I do?
Okay, this is huge. So like for people who want to get in incredible shape and live a life and not sacrifice what they're doing, it really comes down to making it sustainable. And you can't make it sustainable if it's not a lifestyle thing. So if you want to go on a binge diet and just knock it out, like, you've done that with a lot of people, that's great. But for me, I felt like if I don't make it a lifestyle thing, I'll put it back on because I've done that before. So here are the keys. Number one, you got to move. Just got to move nonstop. Like walk everywhere. Move to work. Like I moved right next to my main offices. Like I can walk to work or bike to work 4 days out of the week, 4 out of my 5 days. Just by creating that, my NEAT has gone up so much. It's been amazing. I mean, I have snacks. I don't really, I just walk at lunch. I don't really eat a lunch. I can't remember the last time I sat down and ate a meal at work, or I just don't do it. I don't need to, like I have a quick snack between my patients. And then if I have a lunch hour where my staff needs a break, I'll go for a walk. I just get steps, man. Like that's it. You saw like that last few weeks, I was crushing over 30,000 steps some days.
Yeah.
So, just walk, keep walking, avoid sitting at all costs. So many dentists out there are sitting, and we were doing, Hirsch and I were looking at some research article or something like that. He mentioned, we did the math. It comes out to almost like 200 calories a day just by not sitting at work. Come on. Like that's so significant. Just keep moving. If you got to go to the gym, walk to the gym on your off days, build habit. Like even if you're just going to go there and mess around, I would just go sometimes. Even if I wasn't supposed to lift, and I would just walk at the gym or just be in the gym, stretch at the gym and leave. Because you know what? Like, I credit that to Summit actually. It's habit. You got to build habit. And if you don't go to the gym and just go and make it something that you do, this is what I do, this is my life, then it's easy to take days off because it doesn't become something that who you are. And so that's why it's so important. I took it so far as before I started with you, actually, I had a gym. I just built one in my own house. I was renting a house and I just built a gym in my house. I was like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. I put a gym in my house. So there's no excuses. Like that gym cost me $4,000 or $5,000. That's fine. You can afford that. Like you can put a gym inside your house. Find a way, like if you can't make it, if you have a busy lifestyle, build it at home, like it's not hard and, you can do it. But, also finding hobbies that make you move. Like, as I said, mountain biking, we got into beach volleyball, something you do where you go to the beach, you walk.
What about for us Londoners?
For you Londoners, man, you gotta walk everywhere. It's a city, right? You just gotta walk.
There's no beach volleyball around here.
No, leave early. Go early and go. Like if you're gonna fly somewhere, you have a busy lifestyle, go to the airport early. Walk around the airport. I used to walk. I never sat at the airport. I never sat in one of those little airport seats. I just walk back and forth in the terminal. Every store, just pit stop, just keep walking. That's it. Set yourself up to do that. Like check in your bag and just walk. You gotta plan a lifestyle that allows you to do this because you're going to mess up. And when you mess up, you want that buffer. So just create it. So that's number one. Just keep moving, in many senses, like literally keep moving your body, move your physical presence to a place that you can be suitable to. Like for me, I literally moved to LA. I moved right next to the offices. Like I did everything I could do to create a situation where I can walk. even though this is not known to be a walking city, I just created the circumstance for myself. And so you create your lifestyle, take control of it. Don't let all the other factors in your life dictate how you live. Just take control of the situation, set it up, and do it. You know, it's like, it seems harder. It's easy to make an excuse, but you can do it. It's there. You can do it. It's like, just find a way. You know, I'm at the point I could sell my car probably and just Uber and it'll still be cheaper. But yeah, so that's number one. Number two, I would say document and track everything. Whatever you're not documenting and tracking, you won't be able to manipulate it. You won't be able to manage it. You won't be able to get any progress if you're not documenting and tracking. And if you want to have a lifestyle, then when you go out, you need to know the damage you caused yourself so that you can make up for it. Or you need to create the buffer ahead of time so you can make up for it. That's where the tracking and everything comes into play. Because do you want to go out with your friends, go to a wine bar, have dinner out? I did it all the time. How was I able to do it? I looked at the menu ahead of time. I tracked my macros for the day. I created a big deficit in the morning with some fasting. I knew my macros left for the day. When I went there, I knew what I was going to order. And guess what? Progress still happened, you know? So I thought that's huge. Track everything. So you can't manage something that isn't being tracked. So number one, obviously Fitbit, you know, steps, you preach steps all the time. Steps is huge. I use activity tracker, Fitbit. I have a Eufy life scale, which I've just been sending you screenshots. It's amazing, you know, just watching like their projected body fats and their projected, you know, well, they have a lot of projected stats. I don't know if it's how accurate it all is, but supposedly it's pretty close. And seeing your weight change all this, like after a meal, like you can just see a fluctuation. It's amazing. And I know like a lot of people say, don't get obsessed with just checking once a week. But for someone like me, it was very easy to check in the weight every single day and the waist measurements weekly. I wish I had photos too. Photos are huge for documentation and progress because I didn't have photos of me at 187. I only had photos of me starting at 176. And can you imagine if we had photos of me from back then? I mean, how this would look, you know, like it already looks crazy.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. So, and the reason I can get away with checking my scale all the time is because I'm not that neurotic. Like I forgive myself very easily. Me and my friend Viral talked about it actually. It's about forgiving yourself. You know, we were out in Puerto Rico one time on vacation. We were on the balcony. We were just talking about forgiving yourself for your mistakes. And it's a weird concept because I was like, what do you mean forgive yourself? It's you. Who do you got to forgive? He had to explain it all to me. It's like, it's a process. You say you forgive yourself. Basically, I don't carry guilt when I mess up. Other people carry guilt. So if I see my weight go up on the scale, I don't feel guilty. I'm just like, oh, I got to do something about this. Let me change it. Let me change some variable. Let me manipulate. What am I doing that I need to, you know, that's it. But some people are get down on themselves. If you're someone who's going to get down on yourself and like be sad that your weight is going up or down, then yeah, you know, you got to probably do it once a week. But you should probably try to learn to just forgive yourself. As I said, if you're taking a lifestyle approach, it's definitely the long run. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back all the time. Don't carry guilt. Accept that, you know, 1 step back is what allows your next 2 steps forward. And if you feel guilt over that 1 step back, you're just not accepting the process. Take the 1 step back as your body's, like its necessary need, both psychologically and physically, and use it to fuel your next motivation for your next two steps forward. That's it. Don't look back and be scared or be sad, and don't be mad at yourself. That's why I don't believe in cheat meals. I think cheat meals are stupid, or cheat days are stupid. Just create a lifestyle where you don't need to cheat.
I 100% agree.
Create a lifestyle where you don't even feel like you ever cheat because you just understand it. You get it. It's all set up for you. You know, like the math is done. The foods are done.
Yeah. So just as a caveat there for people listening is, I think it's important to understand that Maneet has a very strong handle of nutrition and different macronutrients in different foods.
Yeah,
he's able to do this on a daily basis, but this is something everyone should be striving towards in being self-sufficient in your macronutrient understanding, because what it'll allow you to do is, like what Maneet said, is create buffers in your day, be able to go out and eat and still not cheat and not binge when you're out there, because you've already built it into your day and it's part of your lifestyle. So it's critical that even if you're using like a set meal plan approach, you're becoming more self-aware of what's in your food and educating yourself on the different varieties of food, so that when you do find yourself in a different environment, you're able to manipulate and able to continue as normal without, blowing the basket per se.
Absolutely. And even though you may have gone over or maintained only that day, it's like, so what? Your body refueled, and now you can be in deficit for 2 more days or 3 more days and make up for it and crank harder at the gym. I look at it as like this, like everyone always says, you can't gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Or like, if you're in a deficit, you can't put on muscle. I'm like, all right, I'm attached to my strength. So I'm just like, okay, well, today was a day where I gained strength. My next 2 days are going to be my fat loss days. Today was a strength day. I ate, I fueled up. I fed the growth. Let's go back to cutting now. Like don't look back. Don't look back thinking I messed up, because that's how you're gonna really bring yourself down and kill your motivation. It's gonna kill your momentum, and it's everything. You just got to keep going forward. Just don't look back. I think that's so huge. I think that's something that like we haven't really touched on too often in any of your podcasts, I don't think. But like, just don't look back. I think that's huge.
I think I couldn't agree more. I think it's about. And this doesn't just apply to training or transformations. This is everything, right? It's being able to kind of emotionally neutralize an emotional situation and just think, okay, this has happened. Now what's next? What can I actually do now? What can I do about it? Like, there's no point in dwelling on the past and letting past experiences dictate what's going to happen in the future, right?
So I have a quote that I always liked. One of my motivational quotes. I have a lot of them. One of the quotes is, "Be not the slave of your own past." So that's it. Get rid of the victim mentality and just move forward. That's it. No more. Just go forward.
Yeah.
Your past is what it is. Dominate it. Make up for it. Don't be mad at yourself. Life happens,
Do you have advice for people that struggle with this? Because it's something you can easily say.
Absolutely. I mean, this is like, we're talking about like philosophy here, like life philosophy, how you go after your problems and how you take care of things in life and anything in life. I mean, I've had so many setbacks, whether it's professionally or in school or whatever. And I've always found a way to get out of it or make up for it and get beyond it. And one of it is, I think if anybody's interested, study Stoicism.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a huge Stoic. I really believe that like, if something bad happens to you, just look at it as, I'm not a victim here unless I choose to be a victim here. Look at it as, this is just something that's happened. Something positive will come out of this, because bad things come out of positive things that happen in our life. Something good happens in our life. Next thing you know, something bad is a result. Bad things happen in your life. Next thing you know, something good comes out of it. And end of the day, you just keep moving forward in life, trying to make the best decisions you can. And you have to carry through knowing that you're successful now. And the reason you're successful now is because you made good decisions in the past. So that's a reason to be confident and carry that, knowing that in the future, that same person is still you. That same person is still going to have the tools in their tool belt to take care of the problems that come their way. And just don't be a victim, like understand what life is. Take realities as realities. Philosophy is huge. Yeah. It can change everything.
I'm a big believer that every moment or experience you go through in life is a lesson, right? Whether it's good or bad, it's there to present a better purpose for you in the future. And it's important that you're self-aware enough to understand that it's a lesson and learn from it.
Right. Exactly. So, and especially, I mean, you definitely learn from your setbacks a lot more. So just take your setbacks, really write. I write a lot, which is huge for self-awareness and philosophy and all that, for knowing yourself. That's huge. You got to know yourself. You got to be aware of who you are. And writing's huge for that. And I think that allows you to kind of get that, that philosophical approach to what works for that one person, because everyone's a little bit different and no one starts in the same place. So to get yourself to that position where you can take on setbacks a lot better and learn from the bad things that happen when you journal, you can push forward from things you consider to be bad at that time and turn them into a positive by addressing and dissecting all of its components. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Learning to be introspective is vital skill to have. And it's one of the reasons why I do the quarterly insights. I don't know if you've ever read any of them, but one of the reasons why I do that is because it gives me a chance to be reflective. And while I publish them publicly, I do it because I think, even though I do it mainly for myself and I'm not too bothered by who reads it, I think it's insights that people don't really talk about. The topics we're talking about now, people don't really discuss it. And I do think they're very relatable and people should be discussing, approaches to life that people use as a method of learning. Right.
And so this all ties in with lifestyle. So, I mean, people think lifestyle is just, I want to go out more, I want to be with friends more, but it's also a psychological approach to everything you do. And you live in your head, you experience life in your head. So you have to, the lifestyle has a lot to do with what you do to your head, So it sounds a little different and out there, but
no, go ahead, keep going.
That's it. Like your lifestyle is created in your head first, and then you can push forward and everything else. Yeah. So I think that's huge. And I think the last thing is don't get injured. I think that'd be the last thing I'd have to say. Like, you helped me so much here, man. Like, you knew I had that PSIS thing going on, and then my shoulder where I got injured from bench pressing, you got me on floor pressing. I was like, these are things that if I didn't have a coach like you, who was the guy, that's it. I'd be done. I wouldn't be able to progress past that point. And actually my lifts were going down and I had a rebound on my chest press after it all recovered from switching to shoulder presses and like changing my angulation and doing the YTWs and all that. I did it all. It helped so much. And I was like, this is it, man. This is perfect.
Glad. Yeah. Floor presses can be a game changer for shoulder health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I still do them because I've got loads of issues in my shoulders. So I just stick with the shoulder presses. And before I do them, floor presses. And before I do them, it's always YTWs, handcuffs, band pull aparts, everything to create that stability in the shoulder so that it gives your body a platform to press off.
Yeah, it was a little awkward at first.
Yeah.
Once you get in, you're like, okay, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
That was a good workout.
That's really good tips. So number one was move more. Number two was lifestyle. Yeah. And lifestyle refers to a lot of things that you covered there. And I
have some more, man. I have some more.
Go ahead. Yeah. Give us some more.
Yeah. Because I said that was the last one, but I have some more tips, man. I could
tell someone who's going through the journey of a transformation.
Yeah.
What they need to be learned. What they need to do from someone who's done it, right?
Yeah. So this is really exciting for me, man, because this is a passion of mine for the last year now. And and I've obviously dedicated my education to nutrition and all that kind of stuff too, and taking so much time in the gym. So like, I would love to have, man, I felt so confident and so on 2 days ago. I look great, man. And I want everyone to feel that way. That's amazing. Everyone in the world can feel that way. I do a big service to the world. Okay. So number one, in the new second part.
Yeah, I was gonna say number 4.
Don't let anyone get in the way of your mission or hate on your mission. You're doing this for you. And I think that's important to acknowledge. Acknowledge that your friends are going to get in your way. Your family is going to get in your way. No one's going to stop eating out or start going to the gym with you just because you're doing it. you have to be able to be friends with yourself and acknowledge that this is your responsibility. It's something you chose, and you need to do it by yourself for you. And you can use all the support you want, like the RNT Facebook group, talk to Akash, talk to your friends, get a workout buddy like I did, and get someone on with you and push them in, because that helps. But this is on you ultimately. So you don't let other people saying like, what are you doing? You're getting too skinny. Are you eating? All that stuff mess with you. Like I remember one time I went out with someone, she was like, oh, you look so skinny. And I was like, oh, I actually like gained 4 pounds the next day. Cause I was like, yeah, maybe I am. Sure. Like, I don't want to get too skinny. So I was like, wait a minute. No, that's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. Yeah, like, forget it. Like until those abs show, you're not too skinny. Like there's definitely fat here. Do you see it? You know, like it's not like a body image issue if you can control it properly, but you gotta be careful.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, you had a goal, right? So it's a bit different.
Yeah, I had a goal. Exactly. Right. So yeah, I think that one's huge. I don't know if
that's huge. I mean, I hear that so much. So especially guys, they get really scared of this is, oh, you're looking too skinny, because the big misperception that so many people have is how much muscle they actually have. Right? People underestimate how much muscle they have, and they overestimate how much body fat they have. And it's not until you actually get really lean that you realize, okay, maybe I'm only 135 pounds when I'm lean, right? And 100%. For most people, naturally, that's going to be the case.
Yep. And so if you saw my photo shoot, there's one photo of me at Muscle Beach. For those of you listening, Muscle Beach is Venice Beach in Los Angeles, fitness capital of the world, right? Yeah. And I was right there on the beach lifting with these huge guys. And I was there, man. Like I was more shredded than them. Like I know that guy could lift 2 or 3 times more than me, but you could see way more definition in me. And he's right in the background looking at the photo, looking at Noel shooting, because he knows who Noel is and Noel knows who he is. Because these guys are celebrities. And he's in the background of one of my photos. Take a look, and he's looking, and he's like, all right, this guy is fucking doing it, you know, and he's proud of me. He's way stronger than me. I'm not intimidated by it. He's proud of me. He's looking at it like, yeah, dude, this guy's doing a fucking photo shoot. It's great.
That's awesome.
So you see that photo? I don't know if you saw that one. It's like this huge guy in the back. And I was like, again, yeah. I was like, I'm good with this. Like,
is this the one where you're curling?
Huh?
Are you curling in this one?
Yeah, I was curling, and
it might be that one. Yeah, I've seen.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal. That's a moment. You know, Muscle Beach is one of those places you're on display. Like you're working out with all the world watching. Like whoever's there will just come watch. And there, a lot of people are celebrities, just random fitness celebrities or whatever that like people know, or the movie stars and stuff like that. There were a couple right there with me, and Noel was taking photos and like telling me who they were. And I didn't know any of them, but it was still cool. But the weird thing, I told you, strangers started. I don't know if I told you this, but strangers started taking photos of me.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
So random people, just tourists coming to LA, walking to Venice Beach, started taking photos of all those guys. They took photos of me too.
No way.
They were just taking photos of me. Like I was on random people's Instagram stories, lifting weights for my photo shoot. And I was like, this is, you know, like who would have thought someone would take a photo of me ever, you know?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's amazing because, you know, these guys are way stronger. So as I said, like, don't worry about getting small. You'll still look jacked.
Yeah.
I think.
When you're lean, you look way bigger than 135 anyway, right? So
yeah. I mean, I came in at 135 and no one would ever guess I weighed that much.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have way more fat on you than you think. That's it. So yeah, amazing, man. That was quite an experience and quite a lesson to learn, and definitely going to propel me forward properly. The next thing I would say is knowing the difference between hunger and boredom.
Good one.
It's so easy to be bored, and it's so easy to eat out of a psychological habit than to be like, oh, my stomach hurts. And I always ate for boredom until this last few weeks, man. I was like, no, this is physiological hunger. My stomach is like, feed me now, you know? So at that point I was like, okay, it was starting to draw some distinctions here. So that was huge. And the last thing I would say, this is probably one of the biggest takeaways anyone could take for a lifestyle, is learn how to grocery shop for the right ingredients. And if you could master one really, really, really phenomenal grocery list, everything you need to cook your favorite foods with the perfect macros. And there's so many variables in nutrition labels. When you take a look at one nutrition label, you can buy cheese that's all fat, versus you can buy cheese that's all protein. Like, I mean, it's crazy. You can, you know, it's like, you just got to find the grocery ingredients where they are in your grocery store, get them, memorize the macros. It's not hard to memorize macros if you start plugging it in for so long and writing them down and cooking with them. Cook all the time. Cook your favorite foods. I made pizza all the time. I got this 90 calorie flatbread using a little bit of sauce, turkey, pepperoni, and cheese. And I mean, I put like rotisserie chicken on there, like deli meat and all that, and it tasted great. I mean, I was so satisfied. I wanted to go to any pizza place over here because I made my own. And if you can satisfy yourself by learning to cook, I mean, you're doing great. And that's a good time to listen to RNT podcasts while cooking. That's a good time to just think about things in your life or do whatever you got to do. But learn to cook. It's going to save you so much time. It's going to save spending an hour or two a day cooking is probably more valuable spending an hour or two in the gym. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely.
Talk me through an example day of your eating, because I know you said you only snack during the day and then eat more at night. So what was an example day? Say you weren't eating out. What would be a typical food plan for you?
Okay, so
and the reason why I asked, but just
it always changed. It always changed. Nothing was typical because it was all about lifestyle and what fit the moment. It's like if people say, "What's your favorite?" This, it's like I don't know. It depends what I'm feeling in the moment. It depends on my mood. It's like the same thing goes with what I ate and how my typical day goes. Most of the time I did intermittent fasting, didn't eat until 1 or 2. Most of the time. But that being said, there are also days where I'm like, hey, look, I'm at work and someone brought donuts. I'm going to have one. And I'd have one, but I'd also like cut back all my fat and my carbs for the rest of the day. Like,
yeah. This is the stuff you wouldn't tell me. And the reason why I'm asking you this, but just for the listeners, is because Maneet was following strict macros. I never gave him a meal plan or anything, which is why I don't know about these things. So for all I know, his carbs were just 10 donuts. His fats were just the donuts as well. And his protein was just a bunch of shakes.
It wasn't a common thing, but I never said no. If someone got a donut, I'd at least have half. I'd have a bite. Like, it's like, look, it's here. Like, and that's one of the things too, when other people are kind of hating on your mission and they see you losing weight and getting in shape and then you're still eating that donut right in front of them. It's like, yeah, I'm doing it. No one's going to get in your way when they see you eating donuts right in front of them. You do it. And I think when you cheat, you showcase it too. You showcase your cheating because that's when everyone knows that like this guy just does what he wants. Because when you're eating and you want to let's say you want to go have something that's probably not healthy, don't do it alone. Show everybody that you can still live, and not that it really matters, but people want to see that you're healthy. The people who care about you, like your family, they want to see that you're eating healthy. You're eating, even though that's unhealthy, you're eating stuff that they consider normal. Yeah. So they're like, oh, so he's doing something right. He knows something I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
You're just staying in a calorie deficit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, I mean, I do know something you don't know, but you can do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the grocery list is so huge, and just I think the eating whatever you want thing and is also kind of plays into the whole psychological aspect and giving yourself the ability to do what you want and creating freedom.
But would you agree this is only because you're only able to do that because you have an extremely good understanding of your nutrition? Would you say you didn't have that nutrition background, but you knew what macros in it? Do you think you'd still be able to do that?
Yes, because you wrote such great articles, man. If people can read your articles and get educated, they can do it too.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's about education, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got it all out there. Like, you created this community. It's out there. The information is there, man. It's free for the whole world. Like, put it in your brain and do it. Because I did it. The best thing I ever did. So
I think it's one of the most empowering things that someone can do is educate themselves on nutrition.
Right.
Because it has so many benefits across any facet of your life.
Yeah. So my nutritional sciences background helped me. I mean, it helped me because I took courses in vitamins and minerals. I took proteins, carbohydrates, fats. I took medical nutrition therapies. And I know the body in and out. Like I do sedation and anesthesia for other dentists. I mean, so like I know what's going on, but to be honest, a lot of it in nutrition and my formal education was just biochemistry. And, it's not the game. It's not body manipulation and physique training. It's science in a way that's not goal oriented. It's just courses that they fulfill to teach you something, which is great, and it's a great foundation. But in order to transform your body, you don't go to school for a nutrition degree. You go to Akash and you listen to what he says. That's what works.
Yeah. It's the difference between what works in the lab and what works in the real world, right?
Yeah, because they're going to tell you need to do this, this, and this, and this. And now, I mean, things are going to be a little different for me. You know, I'm going to eat more, but I'm also going to keep my activity high, you know, because I believe I want to get my nutrition. I want to get a lot of vitamins. I want to live without deficiencies. So I'd rather eat more now and keep activity high. Which is fun too. I like going on walks. So, and I like biking and I like the beach and I like it. Find something, you know, our listeners here, find something that you like that keeps you moving and do it all the time. So you the steps is so unreal how much like I was kind of figuring like if you walk an extra 10,000 that day, you can eat another 500 calories that day. If you walk an extra 500, I mean, extra 10,000 steps that day. You know,
that what you worked out?
Yeah, it's something that kind of I thought it was like 300 to 1,000. I kind of made an estimation just based on like what was still working for my body, and it depends on what that person weighs and what that person is eating, right?
Yeah,
and you know, it's probably not something that's smart for me to tell your clients because
I was going to say, if any clients are listening, don't start thinking if you can add 10,000 steps, you're going to get an extra 1,000 calories.
Yeah, don't do what I did.
Yeah,
this is like for maintenance now. This is different. It's a different game.
I think Neat is huge. Right? I mean, I don't know if you saw, but I recently bought a standing desk.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I've been using it for the last few days, and I'm feeling tired. You know.
Yeah.
Like I'm using it and I'm thinking my legs are hurting. I'm not used to it, right? Just being up for so much longer.
Yeah, you're flexing. I mean, you got to make sure you don't slouch and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool that you're able to do that.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm at the desk. I'm on my sofa all day long, right? And I was thinking to myself, this isn't good long term. Like I need to sort this out. So I thought the standing desk would be a great idea for me. And it just gives me the opportunity to just move more and be more active, right? Outside of just walking to the gym and training and general lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that was great, man. Good choice.
Cool. I thought what we do to wrap up, I think it'd be really cool is we haven't this is literally 2 days after your shoot and we haven't actually discussed your reverse diet.
Okay.
So I think we could just do it live air right now. Go through how we would do the initial reverse bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to take what you say, but I'll probably be the same as I've always been.
Yeah, of course, I know that. But I just wanted to give people an idea of how a reverse would work. So Maneet finished on say 20,000 steps a day, and he never had any formal cardio. I would say, right? It was never.
I started doing this at the end for like.
Yeah, I just said how many? I said make like 5,000 steps walk fast, right? Or yeah, something like that. So the first thing we would do is probably keep that bit in. And we'd reduce his initial steps to maybe 15,000, just because, doing over 20,000 steps a day is going to take away from a gym performance. So we would probably bring his steps down to 15,000, and then his macros. I mean, by the end we were pretty low, right? What did you end up on, like at the lowest point?
Yeah, about 12,000 calories.
1,200, yeah, not 12,000.
1,200, yeah, 1,200 calories.
So your macros were what was the split?
I was like, I don't know. I was like around probably like, I was low on carbs the last week. I mean, last couple of weeks. So it was like probably around 50, but even less sometimes because I just try to keep it low.
We went 40 fat, I think.
40 fat.
Yeah.
50 fat, yeah.
Yes.
And 140 protein. And I couldn't make my protein without getting all the carbs and fat in, so I'd be lower on protein too sometimes. But I'd still get that 0.8.
So what we do initially is keep his protein around 140, 150. We push his fats up to 60 grams to start with, and then probably take his carbs up initially to maybe 100 to 120 grams of carbs a day, and start with that, see how his body responds. And then, if he's gaining too quickly, then probably keep it the same, or maybe scale back a bit. Or if he's not gaining at all, then, make a push, but play it all by ear. But give him that initial increase in calories, then build upon and, fuel his gym performance and ultimately getting back to making big strength gains in the gym, which is what's going to make his physique improve tenfold by the next time he diets.
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready to go. And I've kind of written out a little bit for myself. I'm going to run it by you later. Just something that I think is sustainable for me in terms of my maintenance calories and how I intend to do that. But actually my approach is a little bit interesting. I'm excited to see what you think about it. But my game plan is to actually, on days of the week where I don't train, I'm going to be at like a deficit. On days of the week where I do train, I'm going to be at maintenance calories. And days of the weekend where I don't train, I'll be at maintenance calories. And days of the weekend where I do train, I'll be at a surplus. So it kind of evens out.
Okay.
It's about all
send over whatever.
Yeah. And I thought that'd be great because it allows me to give that extra weekend social aspect of going out, getting some extra calories while on the back end, keeping the week a little lower.
That's a really good idea that a lot of people do is, buffering throughout the week to enable more calories on the weekend. It just makes sense from a social perspective to have that, because there's no need to be on a crazy amount of calories on a Monday, right? When you're probably not going to be going out.
No, in fact, you're probably overfull from the weekend already, so you should be low.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let's just wrap up. What's your number one next? What's your next goal now?
All right, yeah, this is I don't know. Fitness is something I'm always going to do. I'm going to get into some lecturing for dentists, talking about health and wellness to local guys. Possibly write a book on lifestyle design, reverse aging. I have a little bit of a personal reason to do that. In my family, I think some people in my family sometimes say, oh, we don't have good genetics, or in my friend circle, they say, oh, we don't have good genetics, and they blame it on that. And I want to set the standard and talk about how it doesn't matter what your genetics are, or it does matter, but it's like, as long as you're average, you can do a lot. And it's kind of like, I was talking to Hirsch about this yesterday when we were hanging out after Halloween. And it's kind of an epigenetic approach where one day I listened to Haythan's podcast where he was like talking about how his kids looked at him like a superhero. And I was like, wow, like this is definitely an ability to do an epigenetic approach where I can train the psychology of my children right now, where my children can see a picture of me being in shape and be like, that's what I got in me. And that's their expectation. They see that from themselves. Like, no, I'm capable. Not only am I capable of doing this, but I will do this, that, and they once they know it's possible, there's no reason for them not to. A lot of limitations for people are not knowing if it's possible or thinking it'll be so impossible. But if it proofs in their face, they're going to always grow up believing that they can do it. And that's how you train. I think you can train your future generation that way. So I don't even have these kids. They're just potential kids I may have one day. But I really use that as a source of motivation too, because I was like, look, like if I have kids, I want them to be healthy and I want them to do the same. I want them to be in shape, and I don't want anyone in my family blaming their genetics or blaming what they were given, because they can make the choices to change all that. Even though they don't know how, and that's it. And if there's anybody who, not just in my family, if anybody that wants to reach out to me, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. But I think that's the reason I want to write something, because it's about, I don't know if you saw my picture, man, but I look like 5 years younger now than I did in my beginning picture. And you saw my picture, yeah. So for anybody else who saw it, I looked way older and I looked like I was dying.
Yeah.
I look terrible. And I dropped my blood pressure by 20, 30 points. And my energy levels are way higher. And I'm way healthier. So reverse aging, lifestyle design, something I'm very serious about for the people I care about. And I want their lives to be better. And I'm gonna write for that reason. And I'm also doing it for the future children if I have any. So I think it'd be amazingly powerful looking back on it one day to be like, wow, like that manifested too. Because just like a journal, this podcast is concrete now. So one day I'm going to look back and be like, I said it and it happened. I want to see it. Strong kids one day or something like that. So it's a crazy thought, but it's a little out there, definitely out there. but you got to find random things to motivate you, man. So that was one of it for me, man.
And how can people reach out to you if they want to get in contact with you? Is there any handles you have?
You know what? You can just reach out to me. You can just reach out to me on Instagram. Anybody can do that. My first name Maneet, Maneet, and my last name Dharia, Dharia. That's my handle. Or my professional handle is Sedation Doctor LA. Just Sedation Doctor LA for Los Angeles. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm happy to answer anything really. I mean, I think Akash can tell you anything, but for any reason anybody wants to talk to me, I'm more than happy to just field questions and answers and talk about anything. I think especially if it's about anything I mentioned, because I obviously you can tell I kind of like it. And I do want to definitely give out a huge shout out here since we're wrapping up. Number one to you. You're a true champion, man. You proved it so many ways, and helped me through injuries, helped me through a lot of stuff. So it was phenomenal, even though it may not have seemed so profound, little things added up, and really every little mess up can block you from success. So to have someone like Akash in my back pocket is it's a lethal weapon. So for anybody listening who's not a client and just trying to get some education, sign up with this guy. I referred friends and family to him as well, and I will continue to do so. Secondly, shout out to my photographer, Noel DeGanta. As I said, I was reading those men's fitness magazines on the elliptical 10, 15 years ago, and men's health magazines. And I said to myself, one day I'm going to shoot and I want to be on a cover of something like this, except I'm going to have chest hair. But I didn't have that much chest hair, but believe it or not, Noel was a phenomenal photographer who has connections with these magazines, and actually is going to set me up with Indian Magazine for potential front page. And we got one good photo. I don't know if you saw that one, and I'll show you which one I'm talking about. And definitely he has another magazine, an American one that he said I can get into, which, you know what, once upon a time I said I want to do this, and I think I wrote about it too, that it'd be so sweet to be in shape like one of those guys on the magazine cover. And so to make that manifest would be phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah. So big shout out to that guy as well. Also to Hirsch for being my workout partner and all the support. So yeah, no, that's it really.
Amazing. I'm going to finish off with a quick rapid fire. I know you got to go in a sec. So
yeah, I got a
quick one. Number one, what's your favorite cheat meal?
Yeah, I know
you said you don't do cheat meals. Say you didn't have to track your macros one day. What would you be? I already know the answer to this, but
that doesn't exist in my life, man. Lifestyle's already designed.
Okay, what's your favorite meal?
I love going for sweets, man. I love froyo and pizza and stuff like that. But we found the froyo hacks that keep the calories low, and the pizzas that I make on my own, I don't need to cheat. That's it.
Not the Korean barbecue?
Korean barbecue, I still haven't even gone, but when I go, I'll create the buffer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So my question should have been, what's your favorite meal? Not what's your favorite cheat meal. Yeah. What's the biggest thing on your bucket list right now?
Bucket list right now, probably try to get that book out of the way, make some headway in my personal life. That's probably it.
And, who should we have on the podcast next?
Wow. A lot of guys. Depends on your goals. Okay. You haven't met my friend Viral. He's a very insightful guy. He'd have a lot of cool things to say. He does work out, but he doesn't do this kind of a plan. But he's got a fitness and a lifestyle philosophy that I think is phenomenal. And you talked to Summit too. He's got a really interesting approach as well. You can talk to either one of those guys. I think you'd learn something interesting just from a different perspective from some of these people. And it may not be related to body transformation, but it would be related to health in general. Both are doctors, a lot of education in the human body and a lot of insight for what can propel people forward. So if you do want to reach out to them, I'm happy to put you in touch for sure.
Yeah, I know Summit, but I haven't met Viral. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch. He's got phenomenal. Especially if you want to go into some of the psychological stuff and some of the knowing yourself type of things. He and I are very, very, very different. Yeah, we can have some of the best conversations on how to create a mindset lifestyle. And so if you want to go into that anymore, like chat him up.
For sure, yeah. Put me in touch with him. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Cool,
man.
So to wrap up, if you've enjoyed today's episode with Maneet and you think your family and friends would enjoy the content that we've given, then please share, leave a positive review, and hit subscribe. For more information, please visit www.rntfitness.co.uk. To follow Maneet, I'll put it in the show notes, but it's at Maneet Dharia. You can follow me on @Akash Vagela or @RNT_fitness. Thanks for listening.